This video is made possible by Wix. If you're ready to create a website, head over to wix.com/reallifelore to try out one of their premium plans next. If there's any lesson that can be learned from history, it's that empires and countries come and go just like people do. They both have their entrances and their exits that are sometimes graceful and sometimes not. The Ottoman Empire almost seems like it's from ancient history, but Nintendo was founded at the same time the empire was still huge and occupied parts of Europe and Africa. The Ottoman Empire had already been in a very long decline by this point and finally officially ceased to exist in 1922. That was nearly 100 years ago, but what would the Ottoman Empire look like today if it were to suddenly and unexpectedly come back into existence? Let's imagine a hypothetical Neo-Ottoman Empire with her borders restored to what they were at the empire's territorial height back in 1683, right before the Ottomans lost the siege of Vienna against the Polish and the Habsburgs. If this happened, a total of 31 modern countries across 3 continents would lose some or all of their territory to the Ottomans. Despite looking big and scary on a map, it would all be a lot smaller than Australia. Australia apparently needs to get their act together filling up all this land though, because the Ottomans would have over 17 times their population at around 426 million people. That makes the Neo-Ottoman Empire the 3rd largest country in the world in terms of people, obviously staying behind the usual suspects India and China. The capital of the Ottoman Empire for hundreds of years was Constantinople, or Istanbul, and that still, all this time later, would be the largest and most important city in the modern empire. Most of the top 10 largest cities in the empire today would all be located in the Middle East except for 2, Algiers in North Africa and Bucharest deeper in Europe. All of these cities and lands would mean that the Ottoman Empire today, like it was hundreds of years ago, would be a very diverse place with people from dozens of different backgrounds and religions. Arabs would make up the vast majority of the Ottoman population at 48%, while ethnic Turks would come in at 2nd place at 14.5%. Because of the large amount of territory in Eastern Europe, people from Slavic backgrounds would make up 11% of the Neo-Ottoman population, followed up by large numbers of Kurds, Romanians, and Greeks. Based on those numbers, the Arabic and Turkish languages would be the most commonly spoken in the new empire, probably followed next by French owing to the old French colonial influence in places like Lebanon, Syria, and Algeria. Moving on to the never controversial religious section of the video, the Abrahamic faiths would dominate the empire. Islam would be the single largest faith divided between 56% Sunnis and 8% Shias. Christians would make up an additional 22%, and Jews another 2%. Atheists and agnostics would make up 3%, while other beliefs and religions would make up the final 9%. The Ottoman economy would definitely be a powerhouse with an estimated nominal GDP of around 3.675 trillion US dollars. This would put the empire roughly on a par with the German economy and make it the 5th largest economy worldwide. The economic comparison with Germany is interesting though, because while the numbers appear similar, they don't exactly tell the whole story. Remember, the Ottoman population is about 426 million, while Germany's population is just a bit over 82 million, but still manages a slightly larger sized economy. This means that on average, a citizen from the Neo-Ottoman Empire would be significantly poorer than a citizen from modern Germany. The poorest areas of the modern Ottoman state would be Syria, Moldova, and Ukraine, while the wealthiest areas would be Kuwait, Israel, and the territory taken from Saudi Arabia. The large economy and population inside the Neo-Ottoman Empire would make it capable of fielding the largest military in the world, estimated to be around 8.1 million soldiers strong to begin with. Adding up all the territory included in the empire and their contributions to national defense, and the Ottoman military budget would be $137 billion, the 3rd highest in the world behind the military juggernauts of China and the United States. When compared with other hypothetical countries that I've come up with in previous episodes of this series, the Neo-Ottoman Empire would match up extremely well. It would have a very comparable population to a united Spanish Empire, but a much lower economy. The Ottomans would have a larger military to begin with than a reunited Mongol Empire, but the Mongol manpower base of 1.9 billion people would probably cancel out that advantage pretty quickly. Whichever way you look at it, a reunified Ottoman Empire to the borders of 1683 would be a true 21st century great power. There are many problems that a modern Ottoman state would face though. With territory taken from Russia, the European Union, Saudi Arabia, and bordering Iran, the Ottoman state would face many external enemies, in addition to the vast internal differences that were part of the reason for the Ottoman Empire collapsing nearly 100 years ago. Could the the Ottoman Empire survive in the modern world, or would it come crashing down all over again? Perhaps the best way of answering these questions would be to create a fan fiction website, and there's no better way of doing that than by using Wix. If you run any kind of business or hope to soon, then you really need to have a professional internet presence. People probably won't find you any other way, and if you don't know anything about web design like me, you don't need to worry because Wix literally enables you to create whatever you want by yourself, whether you're a novice, a business owner, or a professional website builder. Your website designs are only limited by your imagination, which allows each of your websites to be its own personal and unique masterpiece. Wix can handle any project you're looking to complete, whether you want to host videos, share a photo gallery, start an e-commerce store, book clients, or just about anything else you'd ever want. Wix will even take care of all the stuff you might not want to do on your own, like finding reliable hosting to keep your website safe and secure, custom domains and mailboxes, email marketing, and so much more. But best of all, you can go right now to wix.com/go/real-life-lore by clicking the link in the description. You can start building your own professional website now and support real-life lore at the same time. So what are you waiting for? Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this one in the future, and I'll see you again next Friday for another brand new video then.